About everywhere, actually. Dr. Oz joins us next with the latest COVID-19 headlines after the break. You're not going to want to miss that. You're watching Wake Up America only on Newsmax.
Welcome back to Wake Up America. I'm Erin Elmore. The Pennsylvania primaries are heating up, and our next guest is hot off the heels of an endorsement from former President Trump for his run at the Pennsylvania Senate, taking Pat Toomey's seat. Joining us now is the former host of the Dr. Oz Show and Pennsylvania Senate candidate, Dr. Mehmet Oz. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Erin. Happy Easter Monday.
Same to you, and congratulations on your endorsement. So how much of an impact do you think that this endorsement will have on your race?
It's massive. It's already demonstrated that impact. First off, people call you back. It's always sort of nice that when you schedule a meeting, they show up. It's a lot easier to get basic campaigning tasks done. But the real impact is now when people are talking about the race, I say, listen, President Trump did a lot of work looking at all the candidates in this race and decided I was the best one to represent the state in the Senate, that I was the one most likely to win in November, which, of course, he puts at the top of the list of reasons he endorsed me. But also he knew, and this is, I'm quoting, he said, I was smart, I was tough, and I will never let you down. I think those are very accurate descriptions. And as a surgeon, that's what I've tried to do my whole life. Be smart about the procedures I'm doing. Be tough, because sometimes it's challenging when you've got to make the difficult decisions. And don't let the patients down.
So much like President Trump, you have 98% name recognition and a great crossover appeal. And do you think that will help you in the state of Pennsylvania?
Without question, benefits. I can go to the farm show, which tends to be a more conservative crowd, and everyone knows me. I can go to a more liberal event in downtown Philadelphia, and everyone recognizes me. And you get pictures, and you sign some stuff. But the bigger message that everyone's sort of sending is, we've seen you on television in our living room for 13 years every single day. And we know who you are. Looking at you as we are looking at you on HD, just focused on what you're trying to teach us or share with us. And those conversations have affected our lives. You've brought light to us. You brought light because literally TV is light, but also you've enlightened our lives, brought information to us, and you've lightened our load. That's exactly what people want to know about the people representing them. Because the most important decision voters have is, when I go to bed at night, who do I trust to make the decision that is best for us?
Absolutely. You spoke about your 13-year television career. You had a really nice life in television, and you gave all of that up to run for office as a Republican. Not an easy thing to do. I'm sure a lot of criticism. Why would you give it all up?
The country's in crisis, Erin. I didn't want to live out my life in the safety of the TV studio on 57th Street in Manhattan, or frankly, in the operating room, which is pretty safe for surgeons, even though it's not always so safe for patients. If I'd done that, I would have felt like I'd failed my country. My father came here as an immigrant, recruited as a doctor because we didn't have enough in the 50s. And our family was given an unbelievable opportunity to thrive. I want to pay that back. And I think a lot of Americans are looking around right now and saying, what happened? Why can't we say what we see? What happened to the ability for us to just agree that there's certain basic values that make us Americans? Top amongst them, that we're a brave people who can actually articulate exactly what we believe has to happen to our families, our communities, and in our government. And I think a lot of folks on the conservative side of the aisle don't feel that's possible. Certainly in media, I faced that head on. I went after failings of our government, in particular, for example, with COVID. There was censorship. Part of the reason I asked for Fauci to be fired, and I really do believe he should be removed from office, is he failed us. He did not allow us to describe what we felt needed to happen with COVID. Instead, they, under the guise, the performative effect of saying they was following the science, we later learned he was following the political science. And the censoring of doctors, sometimes Nobel laureates, professors at universities, is reprehensible. You want folks who study stuff to teach about it. Look at energy policy. We have this Green New Deal, which is a lie, Erin. It will not work scientifically, yet it's pushed out there as though it's the only path forward, where we actually know that natural gas from under my feet here in Pennsylvania is the next best step to get us to have a clean environment, make us energy dominant, and help our allies overseas. In the meantime, we'll develop other green energies. But we can't even say that publicly. You'll get shunned.
And you will. And we know that you have these conservative values. For the people that are just still learning about your policies, what are your plans if elected?
We don't teach calculus to kindergartners for a reason. They're not ready. The same should apply to transgender lessons and the like. I want these kids educated, sometimes through trade schools, so they actually can go out there and get a job quickly. And then we want them forming families and having the right kind of health care to be able to fulfill their dreams. Liberties about the First Amendment, as you and I both practice, but also the Second Amendment, so it can protect the First Amendment and in the other amendments. And specifically, every law-abiding American citizen ought to be able to own a gun of their choice. No one should hinder that. And finally, if I can push on this last issue of pursuit of happiness, to me, very simply, it's capitalism and it's individualism. Do not treat us like we have to be chattel. Allow Americans to be who they are, do what's best in our own personal lives. That will lead us to the best possible version of America.
And quickly, you touched on the Second Amendment. Some people have said that you're not pro-guns, and I know that's not true at all. You own a hunting ranch in Montana, I believe. Extrapolate on that just a little bit.
Well, the hunting ranch is in Florida, but it's nice. I'll invite you down. You know, it's so weird. I was told before I entered the race that the ads against you will be lies. And I say, why would you bother? I've been talking on television for so many years. Find something that I said. They said, no. The lies are better because if they were true, you'd never run. Not only did I learn to hunt when I was 12, 13 years old in central Pennsylvania, I taught my son to shoot before he went to kindergarten. I've hunted all over the world. But, Erin, the Second Amendment is not about hunting. The Second Amendment is about our God-given and constitutionally protected right to own a gun of our choice. Every abiding American citizen has that right. And we ought to be able to, we don't need a license to have a First Amendment right to speak freely. We should not need one for the Second Amendment either.
Well, doctors, that was such an amazing point on the Second Amendment. You better take me hunting, however. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Mehmet Oz.
God bless you.
God bless you. Up next.